Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining in this ongoing video series on the nodes in the houses. And today we'll be looking at Ketu in the fourth house. Okay. But then before going into the meat of the video, kindly subscribe to the channel, share the content with your friends and family if you find it useful, and do let me know in the comment section regarding your valuable feedback. Okay, so the fourth house rules the breast and the chest cavity in medical astrology. And because Ketu is a Chidra Karaka, that is something that pierces, the native may receive a wound to the upper part of the body. And this could include something voluntary, like the application of a tattoo, or something elective, like the removal of a wart, or even something necessary, like the excision of a skin cancer. And given sufficient astrological support, such as the association or aspect of Mars or the eighth lord, it can also indicate major operations like mastectomies or open heart surgeries. And with Ketu in the fourth, the mother is likely to be a problem in the native's eyes. The mother could be absent or unknown or unaffectionate or unhealthy, unreliable, unstable, or maybe a new age kook, or a religious freak. So the native's mother may be scattered, ungrounded, or simply unavailable in some way or another. And much of the native's desire to command attention and respect may be a compensation for this lack of maternal affection. Okay, now with respect to family origins, there would be something about the maternal lineage that the native would like to forget. And from the perspective of gyneology, the trail might grow murkier the further back into the mother's side one tries to go. Okay, now Ketu is all about ambivalence, and in the fourth house, it suggests that the native cares very little about basic education, ethics, or morality. And in some essential way, such a native isn't grounded psychologically, not comfortable in own skin, and thus needs the approval of others in order to feel good. Such a native may have very little appreciation for one's family, community, tribe, or even country, along with the values attributed to each. And lacking accountability to anyone, such a native may feel psychologically homeless, rootless, separated from traditions that typically ground an individual. Okay. Now, intuitively suspecting that the foundations of such a native are weak, so the native may find himself or herself wandering from place to place, whether there is a change in residence or school or country, looking for that comfort zone where he or she can feel psychologically secure and at home. And with respect to education, the native may be ambivalent or, lackadaisical about learning. Okay, he or she may not recognize the value of education, nor appreciate the need to complete his or her studies, nor bother to acquire the certificates, licenses, diplomas, or degrees necessary to practice a trade or pursue a profession. And because the nodes rule foreigners, Ketu in the fourth suggests an international education. Okay, so this could also indicate an elite school, which is different from that attended by the common people. And in either case, the education of a native may lead that native to believe that he or she is different from normal folks, with a consequent lack of empathy for the masses. Okay. Now, from a mundane point of view, the native may own a dwelling whose foundation or basement is vulnerable, or such a native might favor no fixed dwelling, instead choosing to move about, for example, living in a recreational vehicle. And in the worst possible scenario, such a native may be literally homeless, for example, someone with no fixed address. The Indian sadhu who wanders from place to place is one example of this. And because many sadhus take a vow not to sleep on the same place twice, that is avoiding attachment to a home. The immigrant, who moves from one country to the another, from one country to another, is yet another example of someone who suggests, who surrenders his homeland, that is Ketu in the fourth, to seek career prospects elsewhere, that is Rahu in the 10th. Now, the fourth house also rules vehicles, and Ketu is multicolored. So this suggests that the native may opt for a vehicle that is two-toned or painted with intricate designs, or maybe display a bumper sticker with religious or spiritual message. And this also includes military vehicles, typically painted in mottled colors for the purpose of camouflage. Okay. Now, for the native, the 4th house is the 10th from the 7th house of partnerships. So, as a result, Ketu's placement here implies that the native may be apathetic or ambivalent about, or maybe uninterested in or unsupportive of the partner's career. And for most part, this will refer to the marital partner, but it also could apply to a business partner. And by the same logic, the native may be unconcerned about his or her actions that that the partner performs in public. Okay, the reputation that develops as a consequence of those actions, and the status that the partner may acquire in the social arena. Okay, so that's it about Ketu in the 4th house. It's a difficult placement to have, first of all, but do let me know if you have it, and do let me know if you agree with the analysis. Okay, so I'll see you the next time with Ketu in the 5th house. Until then, take care and study astrology, as this is a great science to understand your psychology with regards to the planets. Namaste. Om Guru Vidma.